Hello everyone, welcome to another session on appreciating drama. This was my first video on Zoo Story. We are on our discussions on Zoo Story, the Zoo Story by Edward Albee. And in this session, we'll discuss about Edward Albee, the writer, and also the play, the one-act play Zoo Story. Okay. So the first thing that you have to keep in your mind is that Edward Albee is an American playwright. Okay, American playwright. And he is known for his works like The Zoo Story, The Sandbox, Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf, The American Dream, A Delicate Balance, and Three Tall Women. He is considered by critics as an American variant of Martin Esslin. Now we'll quickly look into this particular person who is Martin Esslin. As students of literature, we should have a kind of a brief idea about all the prominent literary figures, that is why I thought I'll give a very brief kind of note on Martin Esslin. Martin Esslin is basically associated with the theatre of the absurd, because he has coined this particular term, theatre of the absurd, in his book, or you can say in his 1962 book by the same title, The Theatre of the Absurd. This work is the most influential theatrical text of the 1960s. And, you can say that Martin Esslin is a Hungarian-born British critic, translator, dramatist. Now coming back to Edward Albee, his works are generally assumed to be a true representation of, you can say in general, an examination of present day situation, or you can say the situation of the modern man. His plays are also called as the American version of, the Americanization of the theatre of the absurd. Another important idea that recurs in the work of Edward Albee is that he is very critique of the concept called American Dream. Now we'll quickly look into, like Martin Esslin, we'll quickly look into the concept called American Dream. It is an important concept in 20th century literature. It is basically, you can say, the national ethos in United States. That is how it is said. American Dream is a national ethos in United States, or you can say like a character or guiding beliefs or ideals, which talks about the opportunity for prosperity and success and social mobility in US. Talks about all these things. US is a place for social mobility. There is the opportunity for success. It's like wide open for any person who is working hard in US. That is the kind of ideology that was spread during the time, and that ideology is generally referred to as American Dream. And he has, Edward Albee has got even a play by the same title called The American Dream. It is an absurd play. It's a wonderful play. It's a must read, you can say. About the achievements of Edward Albee, you can say he has won 3 Pulitzer Prize for drama for his work A Delicate Balance, then Seascape, and Three Tall Women. And then he has won many other awards, and you can say that he has won American Award for Literature in the year 2015. He died in 2016. Now we move on to some very quick introduction to the play. The Zoo Story is, it's a one-act play. That is one point that you have to remember, by American playwright Edward Albee. We look into the concept called, one-act play. What do you mean by one-act play? As the name suggests, it just has one. Thus, it is different from other plays with several acts. This particular play, The Zoo Story, it is his first play. Okay, the first play of Edward Albee, and it was written in the year 1958. Since this is for your detailed study, you have to remember. It's generally said that he has completed the play in just 3 weeks. The play is about 2 characters, Peter and Jerry. and they are like meeting for the first time on a park bench in New York City's Central Park. That is all about the play, and it's like an additional information I can tell you. Like he has written a prequel to this particular play, the Zoo Story. It's just for your general information. No need to mix it up with the main story and get complicated with that. Prequel means it is a literary, or you can say dramatic or a cinematic work whose story precedes that of a previous work. Here the previous work is his first work, the Zoo Story. So there is like a work that actually came maybe like years later, and this and that particular work is in fact talking about a story that has happened prior to this particular incident. Okay, so by focusing on events that occur before the original narrative, or you can say something like a backstory. And the title of the prequel is Home Life. It is written as like you can say the first act, where Zoo Story will be like the second act of that particular play, which will come as the second act of that. Equal is titled Home Life, and together these two plays are called as Edward Albee's At Home at the Zoo, which was like formally, or you can say initially called as, titled as Peter and Jerry. So that is all about the first part of this particular discussion on the Zoo Story. And in this session we have discussed about two things: one, Edward Albee, and also about the Zoo Story.